What's up guys, Dan here, Coalcracker Bushcraft. So I did that about 27 to 37 times with the sheath on before I actually did it. But today is going to be a little bit about axe work, not how to do circus tricks with your axe, but how to be more efficient with it because the weather's starting to get nice. This is coming from the guy who just said last week that Pennsylvania sucks because it was snowing and cold, and now it's a beautiful day out. So I'm like, spring is here again. So we're going to just do some spring cleanup, and part of spring cleanup at your camp might be taking care of trees, delimbing them, hauling them back, or whatever you're doing with them. But point being is that when you take a tree or more sapling, right? We always say trees, but we're talking more saplings, so thumb size, maybe a little bit bigger. Other than that, you probably don't need to be cutting that stuff down unless it fell down. But what you're going to deal with, even if it's for a project, is you're going to deal with all these limbs off of the tree. So we got to clear those limbs off to get to our actual work piece. So that's what I'm going to show you, a little hot tip for that. It's easy, it's simple, but once you know it, you'll always use it, and then you'll be able to thank me. For a small tree, this is a great example. This is a down tree that I'm going to be using for a future project, and I need all of these limbs off. Well, actually this one and this one. So generally what people are going to do is they come in at all different directions, or they try to rip the branches off, and then what happens when you do that is you can actually destroy your main working piece. So we're calling this center trunk the main working piece because this is what I actually need for my project. So if I just grab the branches and pull, sometimes they'll come off nice and clean, other times they might run off into, again, the working piece. So how do we combat that? Well, the whole goal here is whenever we're going to remove one of these limbs or these branches from something like this, okay, we want to always cut in a direction of growth. So meaning that this tree was growing up this way and the branches are then continuing to grow upward. So when we cut, we are going to continue that way. The growth rings inside the wood and the grain of the wood allow your axe or your knife to very easily and cleanly go through that without hurting our piece. So for example, if I come in here and I just give this a nice swift hit, you can see that cuts really nice and clean. All right, same up here, direction of growth. So I want to cut this way, never down into it. So it's going to make life easier, not only for you, but also for your tools. Less stress on both of you to use this technique. All right, so this technique works just as well with larger timber, okay? So if you have a tree that's down through camp, you can really easily do this. Also works great with yard work and stuff like that. A couple little tips here. So if I'm working my way up, or let's just say this tree went down and I think, hey, this piece back here, that's what I need for my project. I got to get that thing off of there, and all I have is my axe. The first thing we always want to do is we want to clean up the area, and we're going to use that same technique. Now, being safe, we always want to try to have the tree between us, especially with larger trees, between us and the axe. That way, if I would be cutting on this side and the axe glances, it's not going to hit me. But in some cases, because this is a really, really big tree, if you go down that way, I just can't get myself in that position, and going left-handed might not be the best option. So in that case, if I'm cutting here and I'm cutting backwards, I want the axe to be behind me. So what that means is I would step forward of the branch and work backwards this way. That way, if this does glance off, as you can see, it's disappearing behind me. It's not going to hit me. If I'm back here and I hit and it glances, guess where that's going? The knotty region. So we move forward, cut upward, and see, real nice, real quick. So coming back here, again, I'm going to do the same protocol. I want to be safe. So if I'm back this way, there's a good chance cutting this way, it's going to glance into me. You have to have the axe behind you. So it's going to feel weird at first, but I promise once you get used to this technique, it's going to work real nice. And like that, another tool for the toolbox. Again, efficiency is going to make you a better outdoor goer time and time again. So little tricks and tips like this added to your arsenal over time, it just makes life so much better when you're out here. So give this one a shot. I think you're definitely going to like it, and it's going to, again, it's going to make your life a lot easier, and that's why we're here. That's why Coalcracker's here. So if you want more Coalcracker, hit like and subscribe down below. You can also check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com for all our classes, our gear, and our blog. And until the next video, always cut in the way the tree is growing. Stay in the woods.